Good morning, juniors. Today we're going to look at the assignment, the short answer questions from Life on the Mississippi. The short answer questions can be found on Google Classroom, and they are due on Monday, April 20th, which is a week from today. Okay. You'll have some short response questions. You'll have 4 of those, and then you'll have an extended response activity. In the extended response activity, you have to include all of this stuff, and it's going to be about a paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs. Okay. When you're answering the questions, write directly below. You can type in, okay? Type in here. When it says to cite strong and thorough textual evidence, I already know it comes from Life on the Mississippi, so just make sure you use quote, okay? Use your quotation marks, type in the quote that you're using and quotation marks, okay? And make sure you follow that method. You don't have to tell me it's by Mark Twain. You don't have to tell me it's from Life on the Mississippi. I already know that, okay? So let's look through the questions and what we have to do. First one says, complete the following items after you've read the text. Answers must be a minimum of 3 complete sentences to count. Okay. First one is cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly. Explicit means you don't have to infer anything. You don't have to use critical thought. You just, what does it say? Okay. So you're going to reread paragraph 3 to find the paragraphs. You'll look for the little numbers. It starts here. Boy's ambition. That's 1, 2. So paragraph 3 is here. So you're going to reread paragraph 3 of the selection. Based on the paragraph, describe the atmosphere or the mood in the town before and after the steamboat arrives and emphasize the differences. Tell me exactly what the differences are and use textual evidence. Number 2, you're going to cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support inferences. Inferences are what you can draw out using your critical thinking skills. It's not exactly what it says. Consider the author's description of his hometown. What can you infer about his feelings? So what does he feel about his hometown, about that place? Cite details from the text to support your inference, okay? What does he feel for his hometown, and how do you know that? Okay, it might not explicitly say, but how do you know that? Number 3 says determine connotative meanings. There are 2 things in English, denotative and connotative. Denotative means the literal example of the word. What is its definition? And you can remember that kind of denotative definition, okay? Connotative meaning means how is the word used in context, okay? Like, um, for example, the word sick, okay? I could say, oh, I feel sick, okay? Or I could say, oh, that was sick. It depends on how you use it. So the denotative meaning would be I feel ill, under the weather, literal. Or the connotative meaning would mean, whoa, that was awesome, because sick can mean awesome, okay? So it says, read the first 3 sentences of paragraph 4. Why does Twain want to be a conspicuous deckhand of a cabin boy instead of a cabin boy? What does the word conspicuous mean? And how does its connotative associations, so the words around it, relate to Twain's overall interest in steamboating? So the word conspicuous, what does it mean with the words around it? And how does that show his overall interest in steamboating? Okay. Number 4, you're going to determine the figurative meaning. Reread paragraph 4 and then focus on the last sentence of the paragraph where Twain says, the partiality of Providence for an undeserving reptile had reached a point where it was open to criticism. Who is this undeserving reptile? Okay, and what does Twain mean? So he's calling something an undeserving reptile. Who is that? Okay, figuratively. He's not actually talking about a reptile. Okay. Then in the extended response activity, it looks a little bit crazy. It looks a little bit overwhelming, but it's not. Okay. So it says, determine at least one of Twain's purposes in writing Life on the Mississippi. So why did he write it? Okay. Then analyze his choice in pursuit of those purposes and explain how the style and content of his writing contribute to the power and the beauty of the text. Okay. So what is his purpose for writing? What does he do to show that purpose? And how does that make his writing beautiful or powerful? Okay. So use the guidelines in writing for writing. You have determined his purpose, analyze other literary purposes, cite textual evidence, explain how Twain styled in terms of colloquial language and humorous tone fit his purpose, and then explain how the setting is critical. Okay, so kind of pick and choose. And if you have any questions about this response, go ahead and email me. And that's how you do short answer questions for Life on the Mississippi.